Alright, what is up, y'all? Welcome back. I'm currently at work right now, but I'm recording this video while I've got a second to myself. That's how dedicated to the grind I am. But it's also how important today's video topic is. So, I was scrolling on Twitter, and I swear to God I did a double take. It was a classic case of skimming the post, scrolling past it, and then, wait, what? So I go back to it, right, and I was in disbelief. So today we'll be covering a fetish far more wild than anything you could find on the hub. And yes, I'm aware of Rule 34, you sick bastards. What the fuck, man? Actually, what the fuck? But anyway, man, let's not delay the inevitable. Let's hop into this shit and brace yourselves. So the New York Post always has bangers, so no surprise that's where this one's coming from. I swear this news outlet is like a fountain of youth or something, but instead of a fountain that spews a treatment for younger, more vitalized skin, or perhaps a cure to achy joints, it spews straight cringe, and this one is no different. So the title of this article reads, "I'm head over heels in love with an oak tree, but it isn't about sex." Oh boy, I can't wait to hear this one. So, starts by saying, if you fall for a tree in the woods, does it make a sound? A self-proclaimed eco-sexual took nature loving to the extreme after becoming infatuated with an oak tree, which says fills her with erotic energy. So right off the rip here, first and foremost, eco-sexual, I feel like that's not a thing. I feel like we're making up words at this point. You cannot convince me that's a real word. Second of all, for someone that claims it's not about sex, the way you're talking sure screams otherwise. You know, she said that this oak tree just fills her with erotic energy. Like what does that possibly mean other than sex? Anyways, I digress. You know, let's give her a chance to explain herself, huh? So, goes on to say, there was an eroticism with something so big and so old holding my back. Sonia Semyonova, excuse me if I butchered that, 45, told SWNS of her forest fetish. She is a self-proclaimed eco-sexual, defined by "here come the eco-sexuals" as a person who finds nature romantic, sensual, and sexy, and often imagines Earth as their lover. So she's like one of the pioneers for eco-sexual people. She claims it's not about sex, but then she defines it as someone who finds nature romantic, sensual, and even sexy. I don't know, man. Time to whip out the old TI-84 calculator from Texas Instruments, because this shit just simply is not adding up. Trying to come out here and essentially fool us, right? Like, you ain't fooling no one. The self-intimacy guide and somatic sex educator in training first started pining for the plants after moving to Vancouver Island, British Columbia in the winter of 2020. Semyonova, who also specializes in erotic storytelling, said she lays eyes on a giant oak tree while on her daily nature strolls during lockdown. "I was walking a path near the tree 5 days a week for the whole winter," the nature lover explained. "I noticed a connection with the tree. I would lie against it." The naturalist's connection continued to grow stronger like a piece of oak until summer 2021, when she started developing erotic feelings for the mighty hardwood. Whoever wrote this article, they need a raise. Describing her sappy romantic yearning, Semyonova said she loves the feeling of being tiny and supported by something so solid, and the feeling of not being able to fall.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So, yeah, again, it's like, we don't even have to speculate here, you know. She says it's not about sex, and we don't even have to speculate, because she's literally exposing herself, talking about how nature's so romantic, sexual, sexy, and then talking about being tiny and supported by something so solid. Like, it sounds like you're a petite little mama and you want to be dominated is what it sounds like. So if you're into trees, you know, a lover of the wood, that's totally fine. You know, if you're a little freak, that's totally okay, but don't come out here and lie about it. And I think it's interesting that this stems from the 2020-2021 lockdowns due to COVID. Very interesting to consider that. I think this is just further evidence that the lockdowns messed with our minds. Like, this truly needs to be studied. You know, this classic case of, dare I say, you know, call me base here, but government mandated cough, you know, government mandated death. because that's what it is, but that's a totally different story for another day. Bottom line, what I'm saying is when they study this, or rather continue to study the effects that COVID had on everybody, this needs to be one of the primary reading materials. This needs to be at the top of everybody's book list, so to speak, because honestly, this is just absolutely insane behavior. Like I said, this is one of the wildest fetishes I think I've ever heard of in my life. Semyonova clarifies that she doesn't physically engage in intercourse with the tree, but rather the tree-erotic experience is all in her mind. Oh, she doesn't engage in intercourse with the tree? Thank God. That's very reassuring. I'd sure hope that this was the case. But a big misconception is that ecosexuality means sex between people and nature. It's a different way to explore the erotic. The forest fetishist explained, "To watch the changing of the seasons is to me an erotic act. You go from death in winter and then everything comes alive in spring and mates."
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Wait, hold up. What do you mean? So you're like turned on by death and like the changing of the seasons? That's a little weird. And then it sounds like she's kind of like almost like a Adam 22, but for the plant people, love watching the plants get it on. What the hell? This is wild. So yeah, this is honestly so fascinating and yet so weird. Like, not to kink shame, I know a lot of people are gonna come at me, gonna want to castrate me for clowning her truth, but just going back to the original premise, for someone who claims this ain't about getting pined, we'll say, this is truly some of the most passionate, smuttiest stuff there is, at least when it comes to this niche or this demographic of, dare I say, nature enjoyers. Like, this is straight out of the smuttiest romance novels you can find, talking about being tiny and supported by something so big, or how it's such an erotic, arousing experience, or it's all in the mind. And like my sister in Christ, have you even tried BBC? I'm sure there's plenty of people who'd be willing to get you the help you need, both mentally and physically. But I still just can't get over the fact that she said she's turned on by death. As a matter of fact, I think I've heard enough. Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump.
But this is the part that's really crazy to me. So, however, the extreme leaf peeper claims that ecosexuality, quote, is already present in a lot of people, and that getting in touch with our roots could solve a lot of climate issues. Yeah, so don't come and try and rope me into this. You're in an island all by yourself. This ain't my cup of tea. Don't try and link me with the rest of y'all weirdos. But there's a reason we want to go for picnics in parks and hike in nature, Semyonova declared. What we fail to notice is that the reason we want this is to tap into the life force that comes from these things, which is the erotic. There's a reason we go for hikes. That's like me saying, when I go to the grocery store, I automatically just want to fuck the cashier, or, maybe the stockpile of turkeys, being sold for Christmas dinner. Like, what? That is such a weird comparison. The vast majority of us are able to look at something pretty like nature and not instantly succumb to our horniness. She out here saying a lot of good can come from this, but I think a lot of good could come from being able to control ourselves. Look at something and admire its beauty for what it is, while at the same time not making it a sexual thing. That's just me, though. Well, I'd say that's about enough horniness for one day. A lot to unpack, for sure. Twitter sure does have some interesting critters, doesn't it? But after surviving the cringe, I'm left here wishing I could unread it. But alas, I cannot, and so we must all press forward. But bottom line, this lady needs to get a grove. Get it? Like, get a room, but whatever, y'all. Fuck you, it's funny. That about wraps this one up, though. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like rating, subscribe to the channel for more commentaries just like this. Leave a comment down below. I would absolutely love to hear what y'all have to say about this. And until next time, this is Runter. Not fucking the trees, by the way. And we'll catch you on the next one. Later.